Hello. I almost forgot to on my mic again. Then I'll be talking like mime like that throughout the whole session. Okay, so sorry. Mm. I'm a little bit. I'm about 10 minutes late. 9 minutes late. Um, why? Same thing. Preparing all the things for everybody. I'm trying to multitask here, and I wish I can push everything to be to make sure everything is on time, for everybody. But I'm a one man show, so it's quite limited. But I will try my very best. Sometimes you just have to um, prioritize, the things that we do so that we can get the result that we want, right? So talking about prioritizing, we need to prioritize what we need to do in life, especially now during this period of time. Same issue again um, about what was it about? It's about the same thing again. Is what we should be doing during this pandemic time. What are we supposed to be accomplishing? And then don't do extra things and go to extra places that we are not supposed to, and we do our best and keep the rest. You know, keep the rest to stay at home. Okay, now I'm a bit distracted because I am. Something about today's the topic is correct. So anyway, see what I'm doing now is actually I'm trying to copy all the stuff to send to everybody my link. So I'm a little bit distracted, but okay, never mind. I'm done. Yeah, sometimes working with the limited time and space is quite a tough thing to do, and what is worse is, of course, you're working with limited money also. Finance is limited, everything is limited, and that's one tough cookie. Okay, so anyway, I'm all done. Okay, welcome to the show. um, um, this is a self-funded show, and I'm doing this also to just to um, hope to be able to give some people some entertainment for a short period of time, for so that when you stay at home, when you don't go out, at least you have something to watch. Of course, I'm not the best show. You can see I'm not very professional. I'm doing this in my own room. Okay, but of course, we don't. This is live, compared to many which is recorded. This is a lot actually tougher to do, and also this is a lot of things have to be done, and a lot of things has to be counteract sometimes for live show. So it's a very different ball game altogether. Okay, but nevertheless, we will still do our best, and I would like to think that we have already improved quite a little bit. Okay, throughout the time that we were doing this show. This is already episode 12, so we have been doing it 12 weeks non-stop. Okay, so it's about 2 months and a half about 3 months already. So we're still going strong. We don't intend. I don't intend to stop this show any sooner. So let's see how far we can go. And today's show, the topic is like last week. We are going to talk about Singapore, some of the Singapore ghost encounter by some people, some of the more Singapore based type of stories now. And it's interesting because some of the stories are getting better and better. Okay, last week we talked about a few Singapore encounters, and then this week we got a few. A few of the encounters are actually they have some evidence caught on tape, and some of and after that there is one which is you must see as a possession of a small boy. I think age 6. You want to see because you know he's not that good an actor if he's trying to act, but this is all impromptu. So either he has a mental problem, which I think he doesn't, because in the end later on they interviewed him. So it's something to watch. Well, that's our last video, okay, so that entice you to watch to the end. This show I always like to reiterate is that I'm a Christian. I will look at things in a Christian point of view, but I'm a very open-minded person. I don't like to pretend I know everything about Christianity or any other religion or about the spirit world. I don't think any of us can do that. No matter how high of a learned person you are in whatever area of spirituality or religion, you cannot be so certain, because none of the books or the teaching in any religion tells you everything about the spirit world. Okay, and you heard me right. I am a Christian, and I believe that I don't believe that demonologies or deliverance ministry, those who study all the occultic and all that, many of those, of course, are scholars, and so they cannot tell you exactly what is the truth. They can guess, they can do a learned guess, or a very learned prediction of what it is, and or estimate, or even adjustment, or whatever you want to call it, but then nobody can be exact. So I don't pretend that I know all the answers. I don't. But I like to present the story as it is, the happenings as it is, and I like to present it to people just like it is, so that you make your decision, okay? But I will definitely, because I'm the host, I will definitely look at it in a more Christian part of base. Then I will always tell people what not to do, okay? Because this type of spiritual things, it's best that you not touch or get involved, okay? Don't be like me, because I am different, okay? And if you don't have to step into the darkness, don't step into the darkness. Okay, now I will consider myself stepping into the darkness, but the darkness is not in me. You can step into the darkness is not in you. You can be stepping into the light, and yet that darkness is in you so much that you created the darkness in the environment. So it's a lot of difference, okay? People like me, I cannot stop reading the Word of God, reading something that is doing something that is of the light, that is of what in the Chinese call it more yang type of activity. So don't get too much involved in the yin activity. I don't get involved beside this show, and I'm always investigating or interested in all the supernatural stuff. I don't go around doing deliverance. Although if I see one, I'm not afraid to do. But as per now situation, of course, it's like I'm tapping into the darkness, so that I want to bring the light to the people who are in the darkness, okay? If you keep going to a sport hub, or a exercising hub, or whatever you call it, and you go there and tell people you need to exercise is good. I respect you. You know, you have a lot of guts. And yeah, it's not a bad thing. You can do that. You know, but it's always difficult to go to a place where everybody is sloppy and not doing anything, just lazing around. You know, they tell people that, hey, you need to work out. You know, so it's a very different ball game altogether. And some people are caught into the darkness to show the light. So people who are standing so-called not in the darkness but in the light, try to judge the person who's trying to go to places that people don't dare to go. You know, and that is my area of expertise, and that's how I make, and that's what I'm doing. So today is about Singapore ghost story. Yeah. So let's again, I have about 5 videos to show you, but in between I will tell you some stories I have read, you know, over the some of the stories that people have sent. You know, there's no reason to believe that they are false stories or they made up. Nobody has so you know, busy, so free, you know, creating all this style of story to for fun. Everybody in Singapore is very busy. And so without much ado, I'd like to present to you the first story, the first video, which is a video which is taken from a karaoke, but it was captured, okay, captured in actually I think it's a photograph. It's captured what there seems to be an extra person in the karaoke activities or singing that they have with their friend. So let's go for it.
So this story was sent to me by my friend Ting. Here goes. At the basement, there's this family KTV. I went with 2 other colleagues, and there were 3 of us in total. All of us were wearing black. So through the night of drinking, I keep seeing this guy like sitting beside me. It's like when you think you see something, but it's not there. So I thought like, yeah, I am drunk. I guess she thought it was just because of the alcohol, and she kept seeing someone through her peripheral vision. Suddenly, one of my colleagues who was singing halfway paused and asked, "Hey, who is this guy?" I'm like, I'm right. So his side of the story is that the TV screen suddenly went blank and he saw the reflection of a guy on the TV. So we packed our and left. When we were out of the room, I asked him what color was the guy wearing. He said white. And at the corner of my eyes, I also feel like I saw someone wearing white. And when we walked out, the woman at the KTV charged us for 4 people when there's only 3 of us. After we told her that, she just laughed it off and charged us for 3 people instead. So the next day, one of our colleagues rewatched all our Insta videos, and we found this. So this is the reflection of the TV screen at the KTV, and there seems to be a guy in a white shirt, and there's like a straw hat. He's wearing a straw hat and holding something that looks like a cane, and he's in white. When she said that they were all dressed in black, right? I don't know if I'm a believer or skeptic, but I'm always looking for evidence, and I found it.
Okay, see. So in the karaoke, there were 3 of them who went to karaoke to sing. Then after that, what happened was this friend who sang in the story. She keeps seeing a person on the right. You know, from the corner of your eyes, right? Sometimes you see something, you turn, it's not there. You know, that happens to me many times. So and that's what happened to her. And then after that, she thought it was maybe a drunk or whatever, you know. So she but then suddenly the TV went off. Could be anything. Could be because of a power outage or something wrong with the TV. Then when the TV went off, you know, when TV went off, it become we call it it's not really black. It's called silver screen. You see something. It's become a dark mirror. You can see reflection, and they saw the 4th person sitting next to her, and he's in white, wearing a straw hat and a cane. And they ran out. They grabbed the thing. They quickly ran out, and they pay for the karaoke session that they have. and the karaoke administration, I guess the reception was trying to collect we're trying to collect from them 4%, the cost for 4%, which actually is only 3. So they thought nothing. They went home, okay, and they tried to find out the Insta video that they have, and they finally found the piece where they can actually enlarge the TV reflection type, TV reflection, and they saw the actual guy on the TV reflection, captured on the TV reflection. Okay, so scary, right? Okay, before we play the second video, I want to tell you a story of a someone who has sent in. The story is called The Midnight Visitor. He said that it was late at night. I heard 3 loud knocks on the main door. Okay, that means he was late at night, probably sleeping. Okay, and then the 3 loud knock. Okay, and then each time around 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. this happened. Okay, so this person he went to the door because 3 and someone knocked at the door is either urgent or it could be someone playing a trick on you, and if someone playing a trick on you at 2 to 3 a.m. is a very annoying and very angering kind of thing someone do to you. Okay, so but that if it's an emergency, it really could be quite a big emergency. So he looked through the pinhole but saw nobody. This came and went for days. For days this happened. So one day when the knocking happened again, this person recorded a video from the phone probably and showing him running there, and then recorded from the pinhole, and there was no one there. But on the playback, the video when he recorded, there was no one there, and there's no one there in live, and on the video also no one there. But in the video when they were recorded, they could hear someone laughing. Okay, so imagine that you someone knock at your door, every day 2 to 3 a.m. knock, and and you get so annoyed, you try to use video to capture this person. So this what he probably did was he take a video with his phone on, quickly get ready 2 to 3 a.m. When they start rocking again, he probably is not at his room near to the door. So when the thing knock again, he quickly opened the door and then try to capture the person, when he is like trying to run away, at least got some evidence, maybe call the police or something. So after that he went and still nobody. Okay, so he played back the video, and then he heard in the video, which is recorded, someone laughing, okay, in the background. Scary, right? Yeah. They say that if you have done nothing wrong, you have not committed a crime, or you not murdered someone, or you not done something bad, when at night 12 a.m. when someone knock on your door, you don't have to be afraid. Okay, bullshit. Someone at 12 o'clock knock at your door, it's quite scary. Whether you have done anything bad or not bad, that is the fact. Okay, and the very sheer of knocking at your door at 12 midnight is a really very scary thing. Who could it be there? Sometimes you imagine the things out, it could be someone, but actually it could just be someone coming back home late, or it could be a police knocking at the door because your TV on too loud already. Okay, but recently it remind me of an incident here. Someone was knocking on the wall, I think hammering or something, but this shouldn't be hammering. It's going on for at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes. Knock, somewhat not very loud tile knock with a hammer. It's knock, but it's definitely with something like a hammer or metallic thing. Okay, but it's not like so heavy that it's trying to knock a nail into the wall, but just keep knocking, most probably for fun. I don't know for what. I've been doing it, and he was doing it at about 11:30. Okay, and all the way until 12, and we keep hearing it, and we heard it, I think a lot of our neighbors heard it, and it was disturbing a lot of people, and the knock is very prominent, and it's like not one then long time, that not second one, it's knock, keep knocking. So it was very, very disturbing. Okay, And I don't think any paranormal, but I think someone is trying to play a fool, or someone is doing something, and it's not being considerate. And then I remember that people like us, I'm quite used to all this noise, so I'm not disturbed by it. Although I'm annoyed by someone who's being so inconsiderate. But then what happened was one of my neighbors was shouting. You can hear from the closed door he's shouting in his house now, at something, as someone, oh, shout. Then when he knock again, oh, then after that, I do not know what's the ending of the whole story, but the knocking did stop. After a while, okay, the knocking stopped after a while. So it could be somebody inconsiderate. Have I have gone through something like that, okay? It's a very sinister experience. You do not know what. I have a friend, but he's our cell group leader. He went overseas to work, and his wife is at home, and we're all very close knitted in our cell group. We have a group of people who gather together every week to study the Bible, and then to share about things. And it's very good, close knitted group. And then one day I heard that there was some incident, and the incident was quite a scary one, because the husband again need to go overseas, and then the doorbell keep ringing, and she's so afraid because the doorbell ring, and she looked through the pinhole, and there's nobody. And then after a while, the doorbell ring again, she looked in, and there's nobody. Okay, and this happened quite often, like every hour it will happen. Okay, and then so until such time, when what you do is that when you roughly know the time, you wait at the door there. Okay, when someone ring, you quickly open the door. Use the fastest way to open the door, and yet there was nobody at the door. So she's quite afraid, so she called one of the leaders of the church to go, and then the same thing happened while even he's there. So he even did something better. He unlocked the door, so that when the doorbell rang, he quickly opened, go out again, ran left side, right side. Okay, she don't there's no right side because that's quite far. You can see on the right side there's nobody at the corridor to running. So ran towards the left side, there was nobody. Okay, so it was very scary. So guess what? He took out the battery off the bell. Okay, last time that one is a remote one, so it's battery powered. So he took out the battery, and then they were probably discussing it. And then after that, guess what? 1 hour later, the doorbell rang again without the battery inside. Okay, that could be easily explained because there are maybe some capacitor inside, and so that the doorbell switch is still being powered by capacitors. But then it is a very scary event. I did went over after I heard it, went over and tried to calm her down, and then stayed there, because the husband is supposed to come back that night. Come back the next day, and to that night, her parents from Malaysia is going to come and stay with her because they also heard about the whole ordeal. But they are not there yet. No, they are on the way. So we stay there until the parents come, and also we stay with her. And then at the time, nothing happened when we were staying there. And then of course something happened. The other thing happens that the parents got caught by traffic police, and the whole thing was delayed, and everything was a big mess. So in the end, of course, it did stop. I don't know how, but then it did stop, and then it was something we felt wasn't really physical. It's impossible someone could have run so fast because she's not next to the staircase. She's somewhat in the middle. Okay, and to run, if someone ring a bell and for you to quickly go out and see, you should be able to see someone running towards the staircase or something, but you cannot see anybody. And even after taking out the battery, it still rings. That is something to be very scared of. Okay, and sometimes I think they come and trouble you when the person that you rely on is not in town, maybe. So I miss my experience. So I've not encountered such doorbell ring before. My doorbell is my doorbell at home is sometimes spoiled, sometimes not working. So anytime it rings and nobody there, we can always chuck it up to this lousy doorbell, always spoiled. Okay, let's look at the second video. Now the second video I tell you first is about it's army ghost story. Okay, some army some army ghost story about I mean, army got a lot of ghost stories. This camp, that camp, you know, everybody tell you there's ghost story. I also went to army before, and I also have my own share of army ghost stories, and some of them I encountered it myself. But then nothing fantastic or nothing new. Army is they're always haunted. Okay, the camp are always haunted. Army is not haunted. The camp are always haunted. Let's get it. Okay. Let's watch the video. Okay.
The guy who actually threw away the hair had something wrong with his grenade. My name is Xavier, and this is my story. So this happened around 4 years ago. It was during my basic military training. One morning when I woke up, I was unlocking my locker, and I found a long strand of black hair in the locker. And I find it very weird because normally whenever I lock my locker, it's always in the same position. So my toothbrush, my shaver, my own personal belongings are always placed in the same position. So if there's a hair, I would have definitely see it already. So at first I was freaked out. So I told my buddy, and like, hey buddy, you know, something's wrong. Like, there shouldn't be any hair here. At first he was also very shocked, but he said, I just throw away, nothing will happen. But I don't want to touch it. Then I got one friend that's he's those free thinker kind. So he just picked up the hair and just throw it. I said, never mind, don't worry about it, don't think about it anymore. After that I locked my locker, and then we went out for training. And I remember that day it was grenade throwing, the kind of thing. So the guy who actually threw away the hair had something wrong with his grenade. His grenade didn't blow off, and they had to use the C3 to detonate it. So fast forward to later that night, when I opened the locker again, the long strand of hair is actually there again. That totally like freaked me out, and I'm like, oh my god. At first I was thinking, could it be my girlfriend's, because she was packing my stuff for me. But then when I think again, my girlfriend has brown hair and not black hair. This incident happened around my confinement week, and ever since then I woke up at 4:44 AM every single morning. And when I woke up, I'm always in cold sweat and feel like someone's watching me. I also went and asked my sergeant, is our company like haunted and stuff? So he told me actually, he himself actually heard dragging sound when he was sleeping. And my sergeant also told me that previously there was someone who actually suicide from our building or something. And in fact, the bunk below mine is kind of like haunted. They even got a cross to put it onto the bunk door, and every bunk has 16 beds, but for that bunk, right, there's only 15 persons sleeping in that 16-man bunk, because the last bunk bed is actually for that little girl.
Another army scary stories. Okay. So how about that? You know, a strand of hair, you know, in your locker, wouldn't it scare you? It will scare me. You probably, if I'm still a recruit, no, all our hairs are very short, long hair appearing. Either someone sabo you, or it could be something. Okay, and that will really be quite scary for an army boy, lah. About army stories, we have encountered quite a lot. I remember when I was a recruit, I was at the time staying in a very deserted old building. Okay, this type of 3-story building, and one building by itself. One platoon have one building. That means the next platoon is maybe about 50 meters away. You know, so I remember that you know, because there's a 3 platoon in the company. So I'm from Ninja company, and the 3 platoon there, And during our finish our PO, almost POP, that means passing out from our recruit camp, going to be in in vocation into other camp. And remember that someone the last night someone shared within our own different platoon, but come talk to us. He said that he has a third eye type of thing, and he can see white color things jumping from tree to trees amongst our vicinity. So he said this place is extremely not clean. So I still remember that. The place is quite a deserted place, because we are the last people camping there already, because after that, because on the last week of that staying there, we are supposed to shift some of the beds to the new building. Okay, the new building is some place far away from the camp area, and this place is like 6-story high or 8-story high building. And we have to carry some of the beds. Well, you use the bed, carry a bed cabinet, empty one, and then put it into the tree tunnel, and then they drive it there, and we have to carry up the staircase. Okay, and last time we do everything ourselves. You think got people to help you, don't have. Okay, and we still have to hand over to the whoever in the camp, because we have to clean out the place, hand over. And then I still remember that. And the last week of our stay, we actually stay in the new building. Okay, so the old building has been abandoned already, and we are the last people staying there. Okay, and no wonder it is nobody stay there. Many times I mean we use some of the area which they kept abandoned, for a very long time, and then sometimes they forgot why is it abandoned, because of what, so they reuse it, and sometimes things like that happen. And that's our encounter. I have other encounter during the camp, but then I think I've shared before during the first episode. You want to watch, you go to the first episode, and our first episode I share about one of my encounter in the camp. Okay, so a story from someone. Okay, it is called who is in the shower. Now this person said that while on a hotel staycation with her friend, his or her friend, she wanted to have an early night, and was about to go to sleep when they heard someone shuffling inside the toilet. Nothing new, always happen when you travel a lot, that is always happening. And I was alone in the room, but the shower head turned on by itself. Immediately I bolted to my friend's room and only returned the next morning to pack her things. Okay, now if you have this encounter, and apparently for a lot of people like tour agent, a lot of people who travel, maybe some celebrities or some people who travel around as a singer or what, and they share this. I've heard it many times that they go to stay in this hotel, and stay in the hotel, and this is really very mild. The shower on by itself and lights on by itself, I consider very mild. Some can see can really see the unclean things in their house, in the room. Okay, so what do you do when this sort of thing happens? Okay, whichever God that you believe in, I know that you think usually the God resembles the light, and if you have a believer, you just call on your God. None of them can take it on, because it's supposed to bring light. Light is not in the sense of physical light, on off light type of thing, but the brightness that's in you, the light, the power of goodness that's will come out of you, and as many times as a Christian myself, I've been a Christian for 36 years, about 36 37 years, and there are some instances when I'm being they call it 鬼压床 鬼压身. That means you become like paralyzed, you can move, and you know what's happening, you can hear the surrounding sound, but then you can't move, and all that. Of course, a lot of people say that it's something like a sleep paralysis. You are asleep, but you're not awake yet, somewhere in the middle, so you can't really move. I like to say that there's maybe truly some are like that, but I think there are many cases which are not like that, because I do have such experience before, a few of the times, one of the experience I had was scariest when I was still living in Ang Mo Kio, when I have the when I have this episode when I cannot move, but I can still hear the TV outside because I was in the room and the TV in the sitting room is still on, so I can still hear the TV, you know, and but I'm asleep inside and I you know, I couldn't move and I know what's happening but I just couldn't move. And then this is the weirdest thing, you know, I felt something touch my face. Okay, and it is it just has very very smooth skin. It's not a fair hand, okay, it's some part of the body touching my face. And the only thing I dare to say is that this because it's so smooth, it's felt like it's the buttock of a baby, you know. You know, and because it's very meaty, and then that is the scariest thing, okay. And I managed to be awake, okay. Then how do I go awake? Because I keep saying Jesus Christ in my heart, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. And after a while, you know, don't think it takes too long. It takes a while. Then after that, you start to gain control of your body, and then you're able to jump out of whatever you are doing, whatever is happening to you. So that did happen, okay. And there were times I had this. Last time I had it quite often, and I had it when I was doing some mission work with one of my mission pastor. I went to Sarawak Iban to do mission work, and this thing happened in because at the time if we go there we will stay with the local pastors there. So we stay with the local pastor, and we were given a room to sleep. My pastor was sleeping on the bed, I'm sleeping on the floor, and then I had this episode happening, and it happening consecutively 2 times. I mean, I have this thing, I wake up, you know, after calling Jesus, I wake up, then wow, you know, you feel relief, you know. After that, well, you go back to sleep, and the same thing happened again, and it happened twice in a row. First time ever happened twice in a row. So it was it makes it a little bit more scarier, and of course when you are off when you're doing you know God's work, sometimes this other thing you get spiritual attack, you know, is what you get sometimes. These things happen. Okay, so yep, so scary encounters. Now just now we heard the army ghost stories, right? Now I want to give you a this is not a story told, this is a video being recorded by someone who is in a chalet. Which chalet they never say, but in the chalet they posted it, and they saw this window open and close, and it is such a way open and close, not because of wind. You can see that it's not because of wind. You can see that it is something else that's happening. It's definitely not because of the fan, because the closing opening is not that's not depending on the fan that's there. So have a look and you tell me is it, what do you think about this video, okay? There you go. So what do you think? I think it's a bit weird, you know, the way it's open and closed. It's not like because of wind or anything. It could be because it could be anything, but then it is not a window that's reachable by anybody. It looks like it's halfway hanging there. So I don't think it's caused by the fan, which is it's not moving according to the fan movement. So it could be anything. So just someone who shared his experience by sending the video when he was in a chalet doing whatever. Okay, of course having holiday lah. Regrettably, I have no any chalet type of experience. It's a ghostly experience as such. I remember even right here in my home, sometimes the door of the toilet, because I can see from my door, I can see through and see the door. Sometimes it closes and open, and I like to check it up to wind, but then the time my door opening close is actually those are blind, multi-blind type of door. It's quite hard to open and close by wind. So is it supernatural or just natural? Up to you to decide. Now the next story I want to tell someone who's sent to submit this story is the girl in the red dress. This is what she said, or he said. My office was located right opposite the famous temple at Toraya. It wasn't uncommon to hear keyboards typing away at the empty desk, to see the printer activated when no one was near it. Not uncommon. But nothing spoke me as much as this incident. It was 3 a.m. and a handful of us were preparing for a business pitch in our conference room. And it was dead silent. We heard the chuckles of a young child before we saw a little girl in a red dress running across the hall and disappearing off into the wall. Needless to say, we all decided it was time to call it a day. If you have a chance to not to work, don't work overnight in the office. Don't work overnight in the office because you do not know what you encounter. Okay. Excuse me. So working late and seeing things happen. No, you must understand that some of this office, it is some people like to do a lot of this type of ritual in the office. Okay, and one of the rituals they invite the spirits to come and bless the business. And these spirits are not like those bright and good spirits. These are literally, they call it ghosts, 五鬼,五鬼五鬼财神 or whatever lah. They invite the 5 different ghosts around to come and bless the company, and they can't leave the place, and they are like being trapped there because of the ritual. And then these spirits cannot move around. They have to be in the place. And then that's why sometimes when you go to office with CCTV, you can see some of the footage. It's like the table will move, the chair will move, and then the cabinet will open. These are some of the signs. One day I will show some of this video, which is, you can see that it's not fake because it's CCTV. And this thing happens is because sometimes irresponsible tenants, they take the place, and they maybe shift. After that, they invite the 5 ghosts, or I don't know how many ghosts, to the place, how many spirit to go to their place to bless the business. And then when they are leaving the time, they are either urgent leaving because they urgent to go to a bigger office, or they kaput. That means they chop up, they business cannot tahan, they close down. And then will they have the responsibility of uninviting or the ghosts, or to let the ghosts go? They won't, tell you this type of thing. Wise man has found money. So the spirit continues to trap there, and God knows how many of that pre-tenant, before tenant had done this. So don't know how many spirits have been trapped in that building already, So could be the spirit that has been invited into the building and been trapped there by the previous tenant. So this thing could happen. That's why sometimes people like to do all the feng shui thing or whatever. You know, and the most important one thing is about this. One thing we can do actually, ask your spiritual leader to go and bless the place. You know. And of course, you know, the Catholic priest, if let's say ask the priest, they will do the holy water thing, you know, and then well, if you ask the pastor, he will bless the place and then pray over the place. Okay, all this type of thing is actually depending on your beliefs, you know, and then whether it helps or not is really up to individual. And then sometimes this type of thing is not whether you like or not, or you believe or not. Sometimes you do it to appeal to the people, you know, working there, you know, like to tell them that you are doing this so that they feel a little bit more relaxed and peaceful, and you know, they're not so worried about things, you know, about new places and, you know, events. Then they won't chuck out everything, little bit of thing into ghost. You know, I mean, sometimes it's like that, you know, people are like, wow, no, it's ghost. Or this thing move ghost. You know, a lot of things see, you know, you call it ghost here, ghost there, everyday ghost. Okay, it's not because it's really a spirit. It could be just because it's a natural thing, you know, wind blows. Yeah, sometimes the floor uneven can cause a cabinet which is not totally closed to open up. Okay, and this had happened. I've seen it happen before, and so that the people will feel more peaceful, you know, don't chuck up everything. When you feel more peaceful, peace, you know, and you're working, you know, you don't go to chuck up everything to spirit. The working environment is a bit more pleasant, you know, and then you don't have to be so afraid, you know. Some people will even quit if they think it's haunted, okay, because they're afraid that the ghost may follow them home. Okay, so yeah, so it's the so when you see this type of thing, when you experience type of thing, like in your new office or what, you have to don't be afraid, you know. And sometimes they are more afraid of you than you should be afraid of them. Okay, if you're a person who don't do evil things, or then don't have to do a lot of hidden things, and you don't be afraid of people or spirits. Okay, don't have to be afraid of spirits and all that. You know, just stand tall, and they cannot stand when you stand tall. You know, sometimes a human being are more frightening and more dangerous or frightening than all these spirits. Okay, so yeah, should be more aware of human being and their evil intention than spirits. Okay, now I'm going to run my fourth video. Now I want to tell you about this fourth video. This is actually a video interview by supernatural supernatural confession. Again, it is by Jane, which is also she work in resort Sentosa. Okay, Resort World at Sentosa, and she's in the team where they do a lot of events, especially the Halloween events. Okay, and you would like to listen to this sharing or this confession, because it tells you why you should not go to Halloween party or go to all those frightening Halloween things, because seriously, you know, it's okay. You watch the video and then you get you understand. Okay, now this is a 2 video added into one. This actually a 3-part series, and this 2 is I think more interesting. So it's a combination of talking about spiritual cover up, you know, and also ghostly encounter in Resort World and Sentosa. This is the spiritual cover. In the second story, it talks about the Halloween horror night and why we should beware of it. Okay, let's go and dive in. Right.
Universal Studios and the whole Resort World is actually built on the old Maritime Museum. So I give you a little experience, right? The Maritime Museum before Sentosa and Resort World was actually, you know, built. So I was actually a camp instructor. During camps, we experienced a lot of things. Like, for example, the flying fox, you will see a whole family or something there, right above during night, right? And then some of the instructors, because they have a third eye, they can see a lot of things too. So they will actually steer us away from all these areas during the night time, even from night walks as well. You can see additional headcounts right behind your students. So all these things are all real stories. And of course, Maritime Museum, the old Maritime Museum in Sentosa was no different. So when Resorts World and Universal Studios was actually built on it, everything continued. There are footsteps, people see things, footsteps, when there are nobody on stage, so many things. And the precautions will be something like, in the offices, you will place some sticks, some statues or something like that along there, because, at a certain corner there are, correct. And I personally have experienced that in one of our offices as well. At one night, I was actually working until about 9 plus, right? So there's nobody in the office at all, and it was in basement 2. So I was like busy working because the event is like gonna be the next few days, and I was like, okay, rush. Then from that particular corner, whereby there was one stick placed there, I heard the whole bunch of files fall, pam, this kind of sound. So I'm like, okay. So I went there. No freaking files fell. So okay, fine. I said, you know what? I'm working, right? I'm working. So I went back. I continued working. The next moment, the same sound, same place, but louder. It's like, hey, you know what? Freaking hell! Telling you, you need to get out. So I said, I can't. I need to work. The next moment, that big bang, bam, came in. Same corner. So I said, you know what? Okay, fine. I pack up. Well, where should I start, man? This is a long story. During pre-events, okay, when we are doing all the setups, right? We work different time zones because while you guys are sleeping, we have to work at night to set up. So when we are walking around the zones, these zones are already blocked up like maze style, such that when you walk there, you only have one way to get out. There's no other way. What we do is we actually walk through, and then of course to offer respects to our friends, right? The production managers will actually be bringing joss sticks and incense to just go around and then just pray, and then we have done a lot of prayers all beforehand. But still, our friends are still preparing. Performers, third eye, they can see. They told us, hey, at the corner, right? There's not supposed to be a character, but the character is there. I can't see. Thank God I can't see, but it is mentioned, and some of them actually saw. So we actually shut off the whole area just to get everybody out, and then do one round of prayers again. So these kind of things are always happening, and of course, we talk about during setup as well in Egypt. Universal Studios, right? There's a place called Egypt, and when it comes to a certain time at night, there will be a certain very strong smell. And me being me, right? I did it once. I said, "Hey, what kind of smell is that, man? It's so smelly." And I tell you, I got scolded big time by my production managers. They said, "You know what? Don't say anything. Don't. Whenever you smell something near the area, you don't say it. That smell, it's really, really yucky, and it's just rotten. Yeah. That kind of smell." So of course, it actually voices down to the event itself, right? So during the event, their performers have, some of them have, all carried out. We say it's heat stroke. We say it's due to heat. But they actually do come out saying that it's evil in fits. When they're in fits, right, they actually mention that it's evil. So after they come down, their incense actually burned around them and all. They actually come down and they actually say the whole story out.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, so we like to follow the Western culture, like we celebrate Halloween or that. One of the things about Halloween, Halloween was supposed to be, according to some reports here, that it's a Christian thing, and it is supposed to ward off evil spirit, and and then it does develop into all this stuff thing. Then we have the whole festive of the Halloween. People dress up like the ghosts and monsters and whatever it is. Then they go for trick or treat. Well, it's not like that in the beginning. Okay, it's very different. And yeah, so nothing to do with Halloween. I think there's nothing to do with it because of the festive Halloween. You know, it's just that when you have all this stuff, ugly spiritual figures moving around, you know, there's a belief that the spirit can possess all these stuff, figures, at least temporarily, you know, and some believe that spirits, ghosts cannot possess, but it's demon that can possess all these figurines, all this, especially when it looks so ugly. It looks like a demon, looks like a ghost, looks like horrible monster type of thing. You know what? I mean, it does give the spirit inside some power when you see it and get afraid. You know, and the thing is that when you have all these stuff things lying around, whatever, so you have to be careful because there might be a certain taking over of that idol or whatever, you know. So a lot of people believes, I mean, those, especially those spiritual leaders, believes that you don't keep extra or any like figurines at home if unnecessarily, you know, because the things may go in, and that is it may be what happened to some people. Okay, so I've heard more than once that some of the spiritual leaders, be it whatever religion, they will always say that, you know, if let's say the children they have these dolls they like, you know, if they no longer like it, you know, or they grow out of it already, so they will throw it away. Don't keep, you know, because starting you can cause something to stay inside and then can cause havoc for your family. So you know, don't anyhow keep. I mean, try to how to say, don't keep it in your attic or your storeroom. Also, Singapore don't have attic, right? Maybe they have a basement or whatever. Don't keep it there, you know, for sentimental sake. Sometimes sentimental sake can create a big trouble. So you can give it away, or you can just destroy it or whatever, you know, give it away. As long as you don't leave it alone for a long period of time, you're holding it, playing with it, then I don't think the spirit will be able to go in. You know, in that case, then it's so easy to go in. Then it's going to be a big problem for people who play with dolls and you know, teddy bears and all that. So the thing is that if you're going to keep it for a long time, you're not using it, store it in a store for a long time, they must well give it away or sell it in a yard sale, estate sale, or give it to to the poorer children who need the toy. You'll be surprised in Singapore there are still poor people who cannot afford to buy toys for the children. You know, don't use your own don't use your own gauge of fortune, you know, to think that everybody is the same as you know, and many times you think you are poor, but actually you are richer than many people already. Seriously. So you can always give it away, sell it away if you want, sell it in carousel or wherever you want to sell, or then if not, destroy it, or you know, at least wash it, send it to Salvation Army, you know, a place of a holy place, you know. Salvation Army is still considered a holy place, and then it's harder for spirit to go in, and then someone who may love the toy, no money, not enough money to buy the toy, maybe may find it, can get it cheap, you know. So it's a good cause. Okay, don't send the toy when needed to don't send a toy, you know, when you're needed to give some charity to maybe a disaster fund, you know, like the fund for when there's a earthquake or that, people asking for money, asking for support. No, you send the toy. No, that's not the right thing to do. Don't send toy. People have no money to eat already. Don't donate toy. So what you can do is that give it away or sell it for money. You know, that money you can use it on your own or give it to charity. Okay, so don't let all these type of things store in your storeroom for a long time. So it may acquire something that you don't like in the near future. Okay. So wow, Sentosa, right? Are you surprised? No, Sentosa used to be a place, the lagoon, and it wasn't a lagoon at the time. It was a seaside shore. You know, it was said that at the time it was also a place when the Japanese occupation time they killed a lot of people, beheaded a lot of people there. So don't be surprised that it's haunted. Okay, I've been to Sentosa, the lagoon there. I catch go fishing, okay. Now cannot. Last time, when young time I went fishing, I catch some fish, okay. Catch until very late and nothing there. I don't feel anything. I don't feel scared or whatever. I mean, at night we even go out as a group, you know, and walk around. Okay, the monorail already closed down. We walk around until midnight. After midnight, okay, and we didn't encounter anything. Okay, but they did say that the Siloso fort is haunted because the real war was being waged there, and then a lot of people died there. So a lot of people say that it's haunted. I don't know. A nice place to go, you know, but I didn't see any ghosts. Maybe because the time I go is in the daytime. So one day maybe we should go. I shall go there at night and see whether I can meet any spirits or not. Who knows? Okay, now I want to read to you another story. Okay, and this time is the holiday from hell. Okay, now this person, he said that his mom was on Skype with my sister and her family. That means a married family. While they were holidaying in Malaysia. Okay, that means the sister went with her family. That means the brother-in-law and then all her nieces and went for holiday in Malaysia. So the mom was having a Skype meeting with sister. So as my sister took her on a tour of their spacious villa, the mom caught sight of something on the ceiling beam and pointed it out to his sister, but she couldn't see anything odd. Ignore my mom, her mom. Not wanting to scare his sister, my mom held her peace. It was only when they got back that the mom explained that she had seen a creepy dark figure on the beam overlooking the family room. Even stronger, my sister said she was disturbed by. Even stranger, my sister said she was disturbed in the night by a creepy figure that was on top of her. Yeah, this type of thing happens when you go for holiday, villa or not villa. Okay, a lot of places you don't know what type of people stay there before you. Okay, and you don't know what type of people what people did, you know, before you. I remember there was a show I saw not very long ago. That there was they went to there was a crime that's being committed in Thailand, and this hotel, you know, this couple was lying on the staying in the hotel, and they were lying. They have funny smell, you know. They said, "What smell terrible," and then don't know what is that. They endure until the next day. Okay, I don't know how they endure, but endure until the next day. They couldn't take it. Then they open up the bed to pull out the mattress, and then they saw the dead body there. Apparently, it's a transvestite who has been murdered, and due to some reason, and this transvestite was being chucked into the bottom, below the bed, So and people who stayed there after that did complain that they had very ghostly encountered. Okay, they see this transvestite and it just comes in, and then they see his ghostly figure. Then there was a show that when the team go there, they were trying to put a camera and all that, trying to see whether they can capture. They didn't really capture the spirit. There's no spirit there, but then the guy who is supposed to stay there eventually was being sort of like possessed because he did funny thing. And when they come in to try to hold him down or whatever, you can see from the camera, which is still there, at the corner, at the far corner, the perfume and some of the stuff were being pushed away, and then without anybody being near it and do it, so you can see clearly that it wasn't there. So sometimes there are rooms we do not know what happened. You go there and stay, you do not know. 1 year ago someone got murdered there, or someone died there. Someone committed suicide. You don't know. Because they will never tell you. The hotel will never tell you. Do you want this room? 1 year ago someone committed suicide. You wanna stay? Not give you discount. Nobody. They won't tell you that one. They will probably, after this happened, they will not rent out the room for a period of time for people to forget. Then after that they start renting out this room, and then the evidence that this happened before is when you go there down and complain to the receptionist to complain, say, hey, this room got noise, all that, can change room, or they will change. Oh, okay, change room. They change very fast. According to some of the people who share that if they're willing very fast to change room for you, that means something had happened and they have this encountered before by other customer, so this is something that they shared, that you sometimes when you ask them to change, they don't change for you. They make a lot of issue about it. They are very afraid of their reputation. That one maybe it's not lah. So it could be something that you brought in, wherever you go. Sometimes it can be, you brought in. So there are just so many stories about the hotel, and a lot of the one of the things that happen most of the time, even without a lot of seeing of the actual spirit and things like that, is like people, like what I say, people 鬼压身, they feel that they are paralyzed, cannot move. And very weird is that it happens when you are in the hotel sometimes, when you are there. So so what to do when you go to the hotel? Go pray lah. A lot of times you must always have a good faith lah, to believe that wherever you go, nothing can touch you lah, But then if you this I think cannot guarantee, because you do not know your faith level, or what happened that day, So the best thing you do is go there and start praying, or the best thing to go there is open up all the windows. Open the curtain windows. If there is now, then if there's no window, open your door lah. Don't close the door immediately. Open it, let it air a bit. And if you are not you're not beliefs or religious attachment or whatever, you can just say out loud, I've been staying here for only a few days. Don't disturb me. You stay your corner, I stay my corner. Okay, so so that we don't disturb each other, kind of thing, and most of the time this works. If it doesn't work, then if you have an encounter, then go to the receptionist and tell them change room. Okay, they say that in the hotel room, right, one whole a corridor of hotels room, right, don't stay at the end. Don't stay at the end, because that is the most thing happen usually at the end. So if you say kena the end room, then you need a lot of faith. If not, then tell the receptionist below, tell them, can I change? I don't want the end room. But then sort of thing depend on chance one. So the end room may not have problem, but because you pandang, you shift to a room which actually haunted one, and you jialat. So you have a very bad experience. Okay, so sometimes people won't tell you the true story of what happened in their hotel room, because of afraid of being afraid of losing face. So when people suddenly want to check out, then something wrong. Nothing wrong. Unclean. Check out. Then they tell you all the things, that the door, the bed sheet not changed, all this kind of thing. They try to tell you the unclean thing physically, but actually what he meant is that there is unclean thing in the room. All this kind of thing can change. You cannot. You can ask the room service come change the whole bed sheet. Everything. They can do it for you. Clean the whole place up again. It just takes time. You won't be disturbed by it, because bad taste. I don't like when someone never do properly. Unlikely. So the most likely thing is when you say that it's not very clean. It's like it's not very clean spiritually. Okay. So be careful when you go. Especially those of you who goes and do a lot of work overseas. So you must know some things to some tricks or whatever to do. Go in with a good prayer will be good. Okay, a lot of friends who actually go to all these rooms. What they do is they will always bring an MP3 player, which have a speaker, or nowadays a phone can just play with the charger charge in. They will just play the Christian music or their spiritual music, and then let it run for a long time. Some of them play 24 hours, and then this means a lot of things cannot appear, because there is power in all this music and all that. So Now I'm gonna show you the last video. Okay. Now what's so special about this last video is that I told you already. This video is actually not in Singapore. Okay. Now this video. Okay. Sorry. Excuse me. I'm trying to. Oh. Now this video is happened in India. So you can see some they put there India. And what is happening in this video is that this small boy, 6 years old, has been possessed, and you can see that it is very real. Okay, because in the end, you know, a 6-year-old boy do not have this type of acting ability. You know, he's still not very mature. You can see from the later interview. But the thing is that this is in I think this is speaking in their native language, either it's Tamil or what. So you won't be able to understand. I have no I do not know Tamil, so I cannot translate for you. But you can see from it's a church service now, deliverance service. So you can see from you can roughly gauge what is happening now. You know, but the sound of the boy that comes out from his mouth is really, really very scary. So without going too deep, I'll let you gauge it yourself. Okay, listen.
பாருங்க இந்த சின்ன பிள்ளைக்குள்ள அசுத்தாவி இருந்திருக்கு பாருங்க. வாங்க டேய் நில்லு 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 டேய் ஹலோ எங்க பிடிச்சவன நீ என்னது ஹலோ இவன் யார்கிட்ட வந்திருக்கான் தெரியுமா? யார்கிட்ட வந்திருக்காங்க? யார்கிட்ட வந்திருக்கான் தெரியுமில்ல? ஏசப்பாட சமூகத்தில் வந்திருக்கான். ஏசுனால பாரு நடுங்குது. இவனை விட்டு நீ ஓடிடணும். இந்த சின்ன பிள்ளைய பாருங்க, வேதனை படுத்துக்கிற எல்லாம் கை நீட்டுங்க. ஒரே பஞ்சு இவன் தலை உடைச்சு பொல்லாத சாத்தானு இவனை விட்டு இப்பொழுது ஓடி 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 போட்டுருங்க. ஏய் உன் பேர் என்னடா?
கார்த்தி.
என்ன படிக்கிற? சிக்ஸ்த்து படிக்கிறியா?
இந்த வருஷம் 7th படிக்க போகிறோம்.
இந்த வருஷம் 7th போறியா? உனக்கு என்ன பண்ணிட்டு இருந்துச்சு?
எனக்கு தடையெல்லாம் வலிக்கும் மனித நேரத்தில் மயக்கம் வந்துடும்.
பாருங்க 6ஆம் கிளாஸ் படிக்கிற கார்த்தி இந்த பொடியனுக்கு எப்படி? நீ யார் பிள்ளை?
ஏசு பிள்ளை.
சரி, இவனுக்காக எல்லாரும் ஜெபம் பண்ணு. ஆண்டவரே இந்த பிள்ளை நிரந்தர விடுதலையை பெற்றுக்கொள்ளணும். இனி சத்துரு இவனுக்குள்ள வரக்கூடாதப்பா. இவன் மேல முத்திரையை போடுங்க. பரிசுத்த ஆவியானவர் இவன் மேல முத்திரை போடுங்க. இயேசுவின் ரத்தம் என்கிற முத்திரையை போடுங்க. இவன் சந்தோஷமா வாழணும். இவன் ஆண்டவரே உனக்கு ஊழியம் செய்யணும்பா. இவனுக்குள்ள இனிமேல் பிசாசு வரக்கூடாது. இவனை விடுதலையாக்குங்க இயேசுவின் மூலம் பிதாவே ஆமென்.
There you have it. The last video. Okay, so you can see that it's quite unlikely that he's acting, and the voice that comes out is very scary. So yeah, I think this is very, very real. So demonic possession is a very real thing. Okay, if you feel that you are doing funny things and a lot of things that you are doing is kind of explained, and then your spouse or your family might tell you are doing a lot of funny things. And most importantly, one thing, if you start to have a sleepwalking and all this, you have to go and seek help. Okay, deliverance ministry is very, very real one. Okay, although in Singapore there are not many deliverance ministers, and there are not a lot of real possession and all that, because I've seen statistics that says that all this so-called self-proclaimed possession, 10% is a good gauge that is real. The rest of it could be either mental, medical, or just some people who just like to pretend, or they thought they have. You know, sometimes it's a thing, mental thing. It's not that you're mental. It's just that 心理作用. You know, you just feel that you have a spirit inside because you're afraid. You know, and yeah. So a lot of these are just not real. So roughly about 10%. So from a deliverance minister who shared his experience, he deals with about 1,000 to 2,000 cases a year. So it's a well-known deliverance ministry. They bring a lot of people to him. Yeah. So there you have it. stories in Singapore that is more towards individual experiences. Okay, so what do you think? Do you believe that any of those stories? And if you encounter like the one in the chalet where it open and close by itself, open and close, will you freak out and run away, or will you continue to stay there and hope that everything goes well? So it's a question that for you to answer, and you do not need you to answer the question to me. Actually, you have to answer it yourself. So that's why this show is what it is. I show you the evidence. I show you the report, the news. I show you what the report of what people do and what people do about it, how they do about it, and okay, I do give you my 2 cents worth of experience and what to do. And most of the time, my advice now, if you can, don't touch any of this. If you have a problem, go and see a spiritual leader. Don't run around here and there, because there's this saying that the laying of hands is good, but it's laying of hands if you do not know those people and they anyhow lay hands on you, they may transfer the spirit that in them to you. Okay, it is a biblical thing. Okay, so they may transfer that sin they have, the bondage they have to you, and then you are affected. Your walk and your life is affected by it. So I've seen young people, decided to, before church service start, they go and have their own meeting in the church. They start to praying before each other, lay hands for one another, and then I've seen people who react. Wow, a lot of emotion involved. Talking about being touched by the spirit. I'm not so sure, but more emotion, and then some young people they probably have no experience or nothing, don't know what it is, just follow monkey see, monkey do, and they do it, and they do not know how, but it's transferring from one person to another, spirits or sins, being transferred, or bondages being transferred from one person to another. Then this person, they okay, wow, thank God, I have experienced that I touch another person, go pray for another person. They are so proud even about it, that the person who has the experience after they've been so many people, maybe about 5-6 people lay hand on him, then he start to lay hand on somebody else, and this go on. They were saying that there's a revival. It's not really a revival. Okay, this sort of thing very dangerous. This sort of thing is very, very dangerous. You do not know what you're doing, and you're letting chaos take place, and then what will happen is that you get everybody demonized or possessed by something they do not know. Okay, and yeah, this is not a revival. This is something of a disaster for the church. Okay, and don't try to catch on to this. Okay, so why did I say about do this? I guess I'm saying that do not be too emotional, maybe over a situation like that. So the best is go and seek help if you really need to. Okay, so good. So I want to promote this event that I have. This is this Lights On. Lights On is the original the main show of the channel Lights On. This channel is Lights On. Okay, Singapore Paranormal also comes under Lights On, and there's a few actually channel that comes under Lights On. Okay, and this Lights On main show is every Friday 8 p.m. Non-stop. Nothing will stop us from doing it. Sometimes we are late, but then we'll definitely do it one. Okay, so every Friday 8 p.m. live. Tune in. You can come and you can log in every you can log in on that day, at tiny.1.light, tiny.1/light, or tiny.1/16888. You will actually go into the live streaming of YouTube. Okay, we will mask the link to these two address. Okay, now this show Singapore Paranormal is on every Sunday 10 p.m. We may be late, but we're late like maybe 10-20 minutes. But every Sunday definitely we will do this show at 10 p.m. If you want to link, if you want to come in and link, you can come in at tiny.1/ghost. this one will definitely let you come in to the live show. If not, you can watch our VOD. Okay. If you have any stories that you want to submit to us, your encounter or your take on the whole show, any suggestion, opinions, you can actually write to us at lightsonsg lightsonsg@gmail.com. Okay, and we read all your emails. Okay, the most, of course, the best is you can send us some photographs or some encounters or whatever, and we can send a photograph to expert to review, to see is there any problem, any fakeness or anything with the so that we can validate your photograph. And also we'll share your photograph. Okay, we share a story and we share a photograph, and yeah, so if you have anything to tell us, also you can email to us. So we will await your email. Okay, so we come to the end of our show. Thank you for your support. Don't forget to like and share this video, and then you can click on subscribe to our channel, so whenever we have new videos that we load in, or when we are going live, you will receive a notification. Of course, after you press subscribe, you must press that little bell there, and you will receive the notification. Okay, so thank you for your support so far, and you are the one that makes this show able to go on. Okay, and we will not do all the expensive stuff like those big shows. We want to keep it simple, cheap, and genuine, so this is what you get, but we will always tell you the truth. That's one thing for sure. So thank you for the time. Stay safe, keep the spirit on. Okay, don't give up hope. Okay, and there's always a light in the end of the tunnel. Okay, so yeah, so stay safe. We'll see you the next time. Okay, bye.